Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. I see some ladies here live right now, and then we also have a plethora of women who are going to be joining us via Facebook as well. It is so glad to have you guys. It's so good to have you all here today. It has been a busy Saturday for me already. However, I am so excited about the topic that we're going to be discussing this morning. And I just feel like it's nothing better than making it teaching style, training style, webinar style, where we really can learn and grow intentionally together. So I'm going to take a second and make sure that we're live in all of the places because you guys know how tech can be. I'm gonna take a moment. You guys take 30 seconds, go grab your cup of coffee, grab your notebook. I have mine right here close by. If you can't tell, I have had enough coffee to last me all day long already. And so what I am excited about is really pouring into you guys and just making this a moment where we can learn to focus on the things that serve us in a new and amazing way. And so I see that we're live on our Facebook page. I'm going to share it in some other areas this morning, just to make sure that everybody is on the same page, because you know how that is when you start with the tech stuff and it's like, you know what, this is for the birds sometimes. So we're going to do our due diligence to make sure that we're live in all the places. I see some amazing ladies and friends. Hi, Heather, Tamara, Tammy, Janisha, Tammy, good morning. And good morning to all the ladies who are watching us on Facebook today as well. We thank you guys so much for taking time today just to be here and to share with us in this group atmosphere. It's my hope that you guys will bring some questions today. I will have the live open on Facebook and Instagram too, so I can check for questions. You can feel free to drop them in the comment box as we go through, but ultimately I will be answering questions in their entirety as we get to the end of the class, okay? So we are live on Facebook. I share with our group and my personal page, and I just want to take a moment and make sure that I share in the actual event as well. So I'm excited today. This is going to be a really, really good discussion. And I'm looking forward to hearing you all's questions and the things that you all are working on as a whole as well. Okay. All right. There we go. So we should have that everywhere. I think we're good to go. Good morning, Facebook crew. Thank you guys for being here. Shantae, I see you. Who else is live this morning? Taisha, Alana. Hey, everybody. Thank you guys so much for coming and just hanging out with me today. What I am going to do right now is go live on Instagram as well. There are some people who are not in the Facebook network. How that works, I have no idea. But for some reason, there are people that I only connect with on Instagram. And then, of course, our largest audience is here in Facebook world. So we're working on making the integration. Y'all bear with me because, yeah, it's like that sometimes. We're going to go live on Instagram as well, so they can get this content too. You all will hear me throughout the course of the class telling them to come over to Facebook so that we can see them. Good morning, Instagram family. Thank you guys for being here today. Our focus this morning, we already know our focus of the day, the assignments. Y'all understand the assignment, and I do too, okay? The assignment is to help us elevate our delegating to a new height, okay? To a new height. And so if you are here today, it's because maybe, just maybe, you have a lot on your plate and you are trying to figure out the best way to organize all of these thoughts, the best way to pass some of the stuff that's on your plate to somebody else. You hear me? Somebody else got to do some of this stuff. One of my friends, yesterday, we were at a birthday party, and she said, "Oh, I like your nails. Like, you know, you doing stuff around the house doesn't interfere with that." I said, well, I just don't wash dishes like I used to, sis. I don't do the same chores that I used to do. Good morning. I don't do the same things that I used to do around the house. And so it's important for me as a woman to feel like the best version of myself. And the only way for us to truly do that is to pass some of these things from our plate to somebody else's plate. Hi, April. Good morning. Thank you guys for being here today. All right. So we're going to dive in. I'm excited about today's delegation workshop. I don't always teach this way. Some days I do lunch and learns and just make it a little bit more casual. But then there are these moments where I get continuous messages about similar things. And I'm like, this really deserves an official class. Okay. This really deserves an official class. So we're going to talk today all about delegating. Okay. I want to take a second again to welcome all of you. We have some ladies watching. April is in Texas, I believe. Lude is all the way in Canada. Okay. So we're just excited. Heather's in Miami. Tamara is local to me in Alabama. Janisha, Tennessee. Tammy's in Tennessee. And so we just have a plethora of ladies already watching from various places. And so we thank you guys for being here today. Facebook family who is watching on the Facebook page. I see y'all. Thank you guys for being here. And feel free to drop your questions. We will be answering them towards the end, okay? Y'all gonna bear with me? I hope y'all are ready to work, okay? Good morning, Stacy. Thank y'all for being here. All right, so one of the things that we are really diving in on today, okay, is tapping into the power of delegating. And so you all know when it's time to teach, your girl is not going to play teach. She's going to for real teach, okay? So if you're on Instagram and you want to see the slides and the magic, then you may need to hop over to Facebook, okay? I'm going to say this again and again and again. If you want to see the slides and the magic, then you need to come over to Facebook. But if you're driving, I think Stacy said she was going to be traveling or some other things, feel free to just listen to the content, absorb it, apply it, okay? But if you want to see and follow along class style, webinar fashion, then you need to hop over to the Mamathon Diaries Facebook page, okay? All right, so let's get it. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen this morning because when she teaches, doesn't she? Oh my goodness. I'm excited today about this class. I'm excited about what God is doing in the lives of our community. I really love especially that we can be all of these things and it's allowed. You're allowed to be the fullest version of yourself in this singular moment. Hi, Destiny. Good morning. You're allowed to operate in your fullness, even in this present moment, even in this time. And so today we're going in with our class, Delegate Like a Diva. So we started calling, and Tammy's laughing probably, we started calling the Mamathon ladies divas circa 2017. So our Mamathon t-shirt for the conference that year was I'm a diva, and it was like dazzling, inspirational, virtuous, and ambitious. Okay, it was all of these things, and that's where the term diva came from. There were people that have come to me on social media, whatever. Diva has a negative term, right? Negative terminology or definition. Being a diva is a bad thing. And I would say, you know what, sis? If you are feeling that way, all fine and good. But the Mamathon ladies rewrite the rules. The Mamathon ladies rewrite the rules. We do not just follow along based on what you all say a woman is, a diva is, a mother is, a wife is. I do not have to fit your definition. And so what we want to do today in this class is learn to delegate like a diva would, right? We want to take this time to really help fuel you for the coming part of this year, and then show you guys how to prep and mull over into what we're doing this year into next year, okay? So I'm looking forward to sharing all of these things with you all today. The purpose, the reason that we're here one more time is to reinvent what balance means. We want to reinvent what balance means, the work-life balance. And traditionally, that's all they have there is work and life balance. How do I juggle and intertwine all the multitude of these things, okay, which is my career, growing myself, family life, the responsibilities pertaining to that. Those are the things that we think of when we talk about work-life balance. And I, Christina, affirm that rest should also be included in my work and in the juggling of my life that I use to cater to and love on other people. And the way that we create this balance is through strategy, being intentional, and self-care. A moment of silence. Delegating is a form of self-care. It is a way that I can own who I am and own the fullest sense of me. It's a form of me taking better care of myself when I take the baton that has been assigned to me and I hand it over to someone else and say, hey, sis, you got this. Hey, babe, here. Hey, sir, virtual assistant, here. Hey, children, here. Because there may come a day, there may come a time when I cannot operate at my same capacity. I know for a fact I have multiple ladies, friends, clients here, even on the Zoom today, who have been hit with physical ailments where I couldn't do the same things that I used to do. I can't perform the same way that I used to perform. Every single one of my children were born via C-section. So I had literally weeks, I've had 4 pregnancies. That's at least half of a year that I have spent in recovery over the course of my childbearing time. If I had not began to do the work on purpose of passing some things away, how overwhelming is it? How much care am I not giving myself to say, you know what, I need to work on this? I was sharing with a mom last week, about, learning to delegate and how to kind of rearrange some things. She just had a new baby. This was baby number 3. She said, I'm not okay. And I said, girl, I've been there. I said, but you're going to have to learn how to communicate with your children and your loved ones so that you resituate things. There is nothing like adding a child to the family. And everyone who's a mom knows this. Nothing like adding a child to the family and you realize all the things that you have let go of up to that point. It wasn't a big deal for your kids to stay up all night or do this or do that. But when a major life transition happens and now you're trying to resituate things, you realize that you let it go too far. And so today, the intention is to reignite your self-care by learning to pass some things along to somebody else. Every woman, do you all hear me? Every woman should feel like her best self. No matter where you are right now in your life, you're allowed to operate on purpose. You're allowed to feel like your best self in your self-care journey, in crafting your vision. You're allowed to enjoy your family, right? And most of the time, we want to aspire to communicate with them in a healthy way about all of the things that go into raising a family. And even more so, and I was sharing this on a live the other day, we have to be able to release the urge to do everything. Now, some stuff is easy to let go. Some things are easy to pass off to somebody else, okay? You didn't like it in the first place. You didn't want to do it in the first place. You're too tired to accomplish this in the first place. Those things are kind of easy to give off to someone else. But at a certain point in our life, we start thinking and we say, I actually don't mind doing this, but do I have the capacity for it? Do I have the capacity to fulfill this? And that's where we need to start asking questions, okay? We need to start asking ourselves, how can I communicate better? How can I release the urge and learn how to let go? I want to let go. I don't want to do all the things for all the people. I want to be able to fulfill those needs in a practical way. And that is so important. Okay, y'all, we're about to get to this work. Everybody take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Learning to delegate, okay, requires a few things. Number one, it requires intentional planning. Now, you guys may be like me. I have a little bit of a commitment phobia. Like for me, planning, that's one reason I go live. Sometimes it's at noon, sometimes it's at 12:30, other times at 1:30, because I'm almost afraid to say I will be in place at this time on a certain day. That's Christina, okay? So I literally organize my life around being a bit more flexible. If my clients are like, hey, sis, I need 30 extra minutes, girl, no problem. We already built that into the scheduling app, you know? It's really about that intentional planning. And so we have to remember, on a journey to delegate, nobody is going to magically come and rescue you. Nobody is just swooping in to say, hey, I want to fix all of these problems. And on a whole nother level, your family and your loved ones, your friends, your teammates, your work comrades, they are not psychic. So you're the only person that lives inside of your body, knows your thoughts, knows how your heart feels, how your body feels, how your spirit feels. Nobody else knows that. So we're going to have to plan ahead of time so that we can communicate these things on purpose. Learning to delegate takes focus. You'll need to replace yourself strategically. I worked with some of you who've been around for a couple of years. You all know Kenda Fields. She's come to the Mamathon conference on multiple years, and she has taught on social media management, digital marketing. She's going to be doing the same thing with our upcoming intensive that we're going to be doing. And I brought her on as part of the team this year to ask her to help me replicate myself. And she said, okay, so I've been your friend for a while, but I need you to know what you sound like. And I was like, what do I sound like? I don't even know what I sound. She said, you say sis a lot. I was like, do I? She's like, mm-hmm. She's like, you call your ladies divas. I was like, I do. She was like, you like plans and all. She started to run down a list for me of things that were resemblant of who I was. You know what I mean? That matched up who I was. And I was like, oh, snap. Like, this is a thing. Like, she was able to help me be strategic about my voice and amplifying that voice so that one day when we enlarge the team even further, it was not an issue about what do I sound like? How do I tell you, virtual assistant, to do X, Y, and Z, to send this email on my behalf, and you don't even know what I sound like? You don't even know how I would approach this particular situation. So we have to make sure that we're documenting. Start to think back of the stuff that you do all the time, whether that is something house related, something work related. I work with one of our ladies who's on the Zoom this morning. We talked all about, you know, her applying for speaking engagements and reaching out to people and calling people. And here's the ways you find these things and stuff like that. It was like, okay, and now that I know how to do it, I can take a week and train someone else to do it for me. I can take some time to replace myself on purpose. So are you able to marry with the real estate business, right? To say, I'm going to bring somebody on to do some outreach for me, because now I know exactly what I do to achieve that. What are your systems? Everybody should have a system of some kind, even if it's as simple as a calendar app to book your appointments. Because for a long time, I didn't have one. And I was like, oh, snap, I forgot about X, Y, and Z. That's not going to work. So what do we need to do instead to make sure that we're being on purpose? And then in order to delegate, you got to let go of your ego, sis. You have to let go of your ego. And we're going to talk a lot more about this as we go through the session today. But you cannot only have stuff your way. If you are operating with a family, with loved ones, with people who care about you, they want to partner with you. But if you insist, good morning. If you insist that you're going to do it all, they will let you. If you insist that you're not going to delegate in any way, they will let you do it all and you will be mad. Rest assured, you will not be happy and you won't be somebody that anybody wants to live with. Okay, good morning. You will not, that's not where we are. So we have to ignite some flexibility, okay? Ignite some flexibility today as we are working our way through this thing. We have to be flexible about how things go, and they can't just be only my way, only by the book, or I'm gonna lose it. Okay. I wish I had found, I'm ashamed to say, I wish I had found this picture. I didn't get time to look for it. It's literally a photo, y'all, of a spoon, a rubber band, and like two paper clips on my floor when my twins were like 3 or maybe 4. And I had cleaned the entire house. Nothing was on the floor. And I walked into the living room and saw that there were 2 paper clips, a spoon, and a rubber band on the floor. And I lost it. Lost it. I was so upset. I was so upset at the notion that y'all don't respect me. You don't love me. If you loved me, you would keep everything perfect. If you loved me, you would make everything exactly how I wanted. And the truth of the matter was, I was grieving still the loss of my father, who had passed a couple years prior, but because it was so unexpected, I became over the top about how I wanted things. And I had to learn to take a step back and allow other people to support me in those ways. And so we also have to let go of our ego. If you're watching with us on Instagram this morning, thank you guys for being here. If you want to see the slides that we're showing, please hop over to our Facebook page, The Momathon Diaries. All right, so I'm gonna check the chat for a second. Let me see if I can do that. Oh, I see you guys. Good morning. Good morning. Somebody said, "Ooh, child." We haven't even come for edges yet. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here and being engaged. Because I tell you, this is a whole vibe. All right. So if you are here in this space today, it's because you are a multitasking superstar. You hear me? You are dynamic and focused. You have big dreams, big vision, big goals. If you're here, it's because you're juggling a multifaceted life, okay? If you're here, it's because you're saying, Christina, I already know that I have a lot on my plate, but I'm excited about the things that are here. For most of us, we prayed for this current life that we are living. We prayed for this life. We prayed for this opportunity, for these new highlighted things that we could only dream of at one point. But if you're here, whether you're watching on Zoom or whether you're here with us on Instagram or on the Facebook page, baby, you're here because you're a multitasking superstar, but you're a multitasker, but being super is exhausting. Being super is exhausting and highly overrated. There's a current culture that is out here right now where we are emphasizing in multiple facets. We are emphasizing a place of hustle culture. I got to go get it. I got to grab it. I got to be that woman, all these things. And delegating literally tells us to unpack that and say, I cannot do this thing by myself. I just can't do it. And so we have to make sure that we are doing what we need to do in order to give some stuff away. All right. So by this time, y'all already know who I am. Okay. Why am I qualified to teach on this topic? I'm Christina. I'm an organizational and productivity coach for working moms and female business owners. I've been married 15 years. I've been a pastor's wife for 13 of those 15 years. And I'm also a homeschooling mom of 5 loud but very amazing children. The Mamathon Diaries social community is lit, okay? We are thousands of women strong in over 40 countries. Right now, we are working on funneling the many ladies that are here as a part of the community into our groups and all these things to make sure that we're meeting the needs of you all in a practical way, okay? I'm an international speaker and coach, having spoken on stages, whether in person or virtual, in the US, the UK, Nigeria, Canada, Trinidad, all the places. It's lit and I'm excited about it. Specializing in working with women in leadership and C-suite career positions. I've also been honored to be featured in the Washington Post, Forbes, Red Table Talk, Fox News, and have spoken for a multitude of universities on productivity and life management. I am also unafraid to say that I am a recovering OCD mom. I'm a recovering OCD mom. And a postpartum depression survivor turned to thriver. So let's define delegation, okay? That means to entrust a task or responsibility to another person, usually somebody who is less senior than yourself. So we're passing the baton. We're giving it over to someone else. Usually the person is less senior than we are, okay? So we're delegating downward for the most part, okay? Or you can delegate horizontally to your partner, best friend. Like they're not lower than you, right? They're not a less than of a person, but they may be less senior than yourself. And that's important to remember. All right, so let's dispel the myths, okay? We already know this, but it is what it is. I know y'all hear my baby. All right, the virtuous woman delegated. The Proverbs woman delegates. She gives it away, okay? So Proverbs chapter 31, verse 15 says, she gets up while it is still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female what? Her female servants. Her female servants. She gives portions to the people that help support the initiative of the family. She is not just providing the food and the portions, and then we end the sentence. There are people that work with her and for her to help her accomplish the family mission. Proverbs 31 and 16 says, oh, baby, she do real estate too. What? She might have had her own money when she did it. She considers a field and she buys it. And out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. Now, I had to read in between these lines. If she's planting a vineyard, there's got to be somebody to work the vineyard. Did she plant it and then she goes to do all the other things that are on her calendar or that are in this chapter, and then she comes back to weed it and prune it too? There are people that work underneath the virtuous woman. Somebody put in the comments, I'm a team builder. Prophesy that into your own life. I am building a team. It has to be more than just you. It has to be. How dare we let our egos ignite? Somebody say, I'm a team builder. This is what I'm destined for. I'm destined to delegate to people who are less senior than myself. Here's the big vision, real estate and providing for my family and all these other things. It says she provides food for her family. We're assuming she cooked it. That's our assumption. But baby, didn't you know that Walmart will bring you the rotisserie chicken to the door? Didn't you know that you can get somebody to meal prep for you and just bring it to your house? Didn't you know all you got to do is provide the food? Nobody said you had to cook all the food. So we are providing food and portions for the people that are underneath us. It's okay, not less than us, like their value to God or them as a person. But I'm saying, you know what? It's my job to meet the need. It is not my job to do all of the things. Proverbs 31:14 says, she's like the merchant ships, bringing her food from afar. Does she carry all the food herself? Okay. Proverbs 14:1, the wise woman builds her house, my favorite, but the foolish one tears it down with her own hands. Now, of course, they could be talking about not a virtual house, but a imaginary house, a figurative house, right? A figurative house. But she also could be talking about the actual building components of serving a family well. And it says that she builds a house, and I have never heard about anybody building a house all by themselves. Maybe there's a handful of freaks of nature who said, I'm just going to claim this land for myself and build the whole cabin myself. But for the most part, y'all, we need support. And if we want to be the virtuous woman, the woman that God has called us to be, we're going to have to delegate. This is going to snatch edges. Let me check the comments before I go here. Let me check the comments before I go here. Let me check the comments. Heather said, I'm a team builder. Janice said, I'm a team builder. Jean, I'm a team builder. Tamara, I'm a team builder. Heather said she had to have her own money. It didn't say she called her husband on the phone and said, baby, can I have permission? She knew it was the right thing for the family based on the goals that they have shared. We going here. So Heather says she's gonna need a wig soon. Y'all just roll with me. All right. I'm gonna sign off of Instagram and hop over to Facebook and see you all's questions. Let me see. Hey, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Good morning, guys. Thank y'all for being here. I'm a team builder. Hey, Shauna. Shantae, thank y'all for being here this morning. All right, y'all, share with a friend. Send this over to a good girlfriend, okay? Because we still moving. We about to hit this thing. So we're going to dispel the myth. We're going to get rid of it right now. Refusing to delegate is more than a desire. It's a commandment. When God showed me this, y'all, my socks was blown off. And since he snatched my edges, y'all see they're shaved now. I'm gonna snatch everybody else's too, okay? 1 Corinthians chapter 12, a very familiar passage of scripture. If God gives a command, hold on, y'all ready? If God gives a command and you do the opposite of the command, that is sin, correct? If God gives a command and you do the opposite of the command, is that sin? If God said, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, and you walk around bearing the false witness, that is sin, correct? If God said, love thy neighbor, you know you can't stand them folk. You said, God, help me to love better so I don't fall out of alignment with your perfect will for me. So refusing to delegate is more than just a desire. Like thou shalt not kill is not a suggestion. It is not a suggestion. It is a mandate. It is a commandment. And when we refuse to operate in this kingdom principle, we are in sin. Okay, here we go. 1 Corinthians chapter 12, 17 through 20. If the whole body were an eye, where would the sense of hearing be? If the whole body were an ear, where would the sense of smell be? But in fact, God has placed the parts in the body, every one of them, just as he wanted them to be. And if they were all one part, where would the body be? As it is, there are many parts, but one body. The eye cannot say to the hand, I don't need you. And the head cannot say to the feet, I don't need you. And here we are, some of us women, I'm talking to the women. There could be a man watching somewhere, I don't know. I'm talking to the gentlemen right now. I'm talking to the ladies right now, excuse me, who we will try to be all the things, literally going against what God has told us to do. God said there's different parts of the body, and I fully expect for every part to embrace that there are other parts. There are some that are less seen, right? Like you can't see your lungs, but you feel them. You can't see your heart, but you feel it. You can't see your brain, but you know that it's working. All of these facets are going together, okay? So I cannot say as the eye and look at my hand and say, I don't need you. I can't look at my heart and be like, sis, I don't need you. I can't look at my foot and say, man, you know what? You are optional, even though it could be if I had to live without it, I could. But that's not what God designed. That's not his perfect design. And so here we are as women trying to be the eye, the ear, the hand, the leg, the heart. You're trying to do every single part. And it's a commandment from God that you do the opposite. It is a commandment from the Father that we do the opposite. So here you are trying to be all the body parts, and God said, no, I have placed every single part the way I want it. Don't mess up my design. God has said, I have put the body the way that I wanted to represent my kingdom. I was listening to TD Jakes this morning, going to Birmingham to go pick my mama from the airport today. And it was so, all he kept talking about, and I knew he was talking to me as he does, you know, you're not supposed to do this thing by yourself. As great as you think you could be, you need to have other people in alignment with you to say, I want to be your partner. Or even if you are delegating to me, I want to be a part of the grounds crew. I want to be a part of this mission. I'm not supposed to do it alone. And kingdom principle requires for everybody to operate in their sphere. And when we become conceited, when we become conceited enough to think that I can be all of the parts, that's where we fall into this wayward way, where God is like, no, I never made you to do all the parts. I made you to be in alignment with me. Let's keep it going. Oh, you don't want to go? Here we go. All righty. So when we teach the Mamathon productivity principles, they are 4 pillars. Okay. Today, we're just talking about one of these pillars. So we have the create a family vision. We have communicating our needs to our loved ones. We have delegating our tasks on purpose, right? And because you've done 1 and 2 and 3, you can alleviate your stress and your overwhelm. You can have more time for the stuff that matters, because now we have a vision of exactly what we want to do. We can communicate with the people that we care about, right? We can delegate on purpose, and then we have less stress and less overwhelm. I am dramatic. If I'm stressed now, y'all, it's because I brought it on myself, where I was like, you know what, babe, I'm gonna take over the planet. And I have to ask myself, what part did I play in overwhelming myself? And I got to ask myself that. But even in my overwhelm, it's because I'm doing something I love, whether it's working with clients or speaking or traveling. Conference is a labor of love that I'm like, oh God, it's welcomed stress. right? Something I love doing because the fruit is always so immense. But when we intertwine all four of these pillars together, that's where we're able to really see success and amplify our productivity. But today we are just talking about one element of the Mamathon productivity principles, which is delegation. So delegating, y'all ready, takes four components. Number one, you got to figure out what I can delegate and what I cannot. Now, y'all know I say this all the time. I'm not about to change it up because it's Saturday morning and we had an appointment today, okay? I cannot delegate. You cannot delegate loving your significant other. If you're married or whatever, even if you're dating or want to be married one day, you still need to be present with that person. Like, you cannot delegate dates, right? We can't delegate loving on and encouraging our significant other, telling him that he's the finest chocolate or vanilla or caramel thing you done seen in your whole life. Nobody else should be telling him that. You need to be the loudest voice, like, oh, babe, is that a fresh cut? You look good. Don't let work wife have a chance. Don't let sis. They be at the gas station, y'all. They be at the gas station trying to slide in. So we cannot delegate letting somebody else do that affirmation, telling them that they're important to us. I can't give that away. Something else that I cannot delegate, affirming and guiding my children. Now, I will admit, y'all, this year I have delegated way more than I have in the past. Okay, so what does that look like for the Garretts? Co-op, homeschooling co-op, y'all. Speech and debates class on Fridays, okay? Making sure that they're at Bible study and stuff like that, because I don't have to be the only source of inspiration for these children. You know what? Yeah, y'all want me to stay and teach for a session or whatever, or help out, be the classroom parents or whatever at the co-op, sure. But that means that I don't have to lesson plan for American literature for my 13-year-old. Y'all don't want to do that? Oh, you have assignments or things that you need to do. I don't want to come up with that, because to be honest with you, if we get to a day where we're too stacked or too busy, I'm going to say, you know what, babe, we'll do it another day. But if you have it due to somebody else, it keeps him and me accountable. Same as for you moms who maybe your kids are in regular school or whatever, that's a delegated task. You don't have to figure out how to teach your children or what to teach them, because thankfully the amazing teachers come in and handle that, okay? But you cannot delegate the affirming and the guiding them and the loving them and saying you're handsome or you're beautiful or you're incredible or I think you're so dope at this, or wow, I love the way that you phrase that statement, or training them up in the way that they're supposed to go. You cannot give that away. And last but not least, you cannot delegate vision. Moment of silence. Every year, my event planner reaches out to me and she says, Christina, what are we doing this year for the conference? Are you ready to sign contracts? Which we just did October 28th through the 30th in Atlanta. For the conference and all this stuff. And she's like, what are we doing? I was like, I don't know yet. And I might not know. Like this year, I think I'm a little ahead of the game with the idea of what I see for next year's event. But most of the time, it's like, give me time to pray about what's happening so that I have the right vision. And I tell you guys what to do, how to do it, how you can support me, how y'all can help, what I need you to negotiate for the ladies, all of this kind of stuff. I need to be able to tell her that because I've seen it in my mind. And some of you, we are going to and fro asking other people what our vision is. You cannot give that away. You cannot give away the necessity of operating on purpose. You cannot pass this off to someone else. I'm sorry. It is what it is. And so we must do the intentional work of loving ourselves enough to not expect for people to be psychic with us, to not expect for people to get what they need from someone else when that's your job. Okay? Look at here. Y'all see chocolate sugar daddy on the left. I can't delegate loving him well. When he goes to preach places or minister places, I'm right there. There may be a whole lot of wives, they skip services, they whatever. None, unless he gets to a church one day far off, or our church changes to when they got 3 services on a Sunday, maybe I'll go home there, y'all. But in the meantime, I'm gonna be right there. First row, second row, third row, saying, that's right, baby, amen. Nobody else is his amen corner. So who I am as his wife, supporting him, being his champion, his cheerleader, I gotta be there to do that. Then on this other side, you see my 5 brown babies. My son is a whole 13. Y'all see him breaking my heart. His voice is deep. I'm not ready. So one day I woke up and I said, we're going to do less math. He wants to go and be a Disney Pixar artist. And every single resource tells him, son, you don't need college. I was like, okay. I said, you're going to be leaving home in 3 to 4 years. I don't have much time left with you. So I, mom, have to slow down enough, move some things off of my plate. Thank you, ladies. I said, beautiful family. Thank y'all so much. I got to move some stuff off my plate to pay attention to my kids. So I can't delegate being his wife. I can't delegate being their mom. I can delegate some components of it, but loving on them, affirming them, paying attention when they tell you that same story for the 762nd time, but they done told you, and you got to still look up from your laptop and pay attention, but you don't want to, but you got to. All of this is a component here. I cannot skip out on being his wife and their mom so I can go and be her. Now, listen, she is cute, honey. She is cute. She's the visionary. She's the person that sees this big several thousand women conference in the coming years. She's the woman that sees traveling around the globe and doing this and doing that and all these things and creating a system of dynamic women and all this stuff. But I cannot spend all my time being this woman and miss out on being that woman. Y'all hearing me? So when we delegate, we have to think about what we can move off the list, but you got to ask yourself, what are you keeping on there that is associated with family? Y'all, the other day when several weeks ago, when I had to fly to Dallas, Texas for the Gather Moms conference, right? And I don't know if any of their ladies are watching. If so, good morning. And in that particular instance, y'all, I left Friday night, sometime Friday, and I was back Saturday night and going to church on Sunday. Y'all hear me? Like, I was like, you will not have to feel, I might be gone for a day or two, but I don't want you to have to feel my absence to the point of my wife is no longer embracing her full priorities. Okay. So I can't just skip out on being his wife and their mom because I want to be her all the time. This lady, she gets what they call it, concierge service. I say in a presidential suite. I get like they drop me off at the door. I get all this wonderful stuff. I be flying places, stuff taken care, but I don't get to be her every day. I gotta come home and do laundry. I don't get to just run off. Okay, so let's just keep that in mind as we're learning to delegate. Family first, y'all, and then can we make a list of the stuff that's left over? Can we make a list of the stuff that's left over? I'm gonna check the comments because I know y'all blowing them up. Thank you, Tamara. She says, sis is cute. Oh my goodness. Yes. Hi, Krista. Good morning, everyone. Krista said, work wife gonna feel the spirit of slap. Where is the lie? Y'all are hilarious. Y'all crazy. Like work wife gonna get that beat down. Okay. In Jesus' name. All right. Hold on. I'm gonna go back real quick. Delegation number 2 requires time. Okay, it requires time. All right. Now, a lot of times we don't want to take time. We don't want to waste time, all of this stuff, but it requires us to spend time. Time to pinpoint your strategic systems. Time to document the methods that you use. What is that? Do you have a preferred cleaning service? You should. Maybe we're going to work on that. Do you have a preferred place to order food from after a busy day? Do you have a way that you clean the kitchen that you want your kids to clean the kitchen just like it? Okay. Do you have, and are you okay with communicating these methods to other people in a healthy way? Hi, April, Melissa, Lou, Taisha. Good morning, everybody. Thank y'all for being here today. Can we communicate these methods to other people? It should not just be read my mind. A clean kitchen looks like this, because your kids could say, I wiped the counters, I swept the floor, I did most of the dishes, but all the silverware is still in the bottom of the sink. That is not a clean kitchen. It's not clean. You missed this right here. So maybe we make life easier on them by communicating those methods in a healthy way. So that could be a list of things. That could be a chore chart. That could be letting them work out sometimes amongst themselves whose kitchen day is next. All mama cares about is that the kitchen is done. I don't care who does it. Y'all figure it out. So, but if there's arguing, this is what I do with my kids. I'm like, if there's arguing, what that tells me is that you all are spending too much time on technology to the point where you all don't know how to communicate well anymore. So that means that I need to come in and help you all facilitate. Do you want my help? And they're like, no, we do not want your help, Mom. So then they go and they figure it out amongst themselves. So we have to be able to communicate the methods to other people in a healthy way. And then we also have to heal. We also have to heal. Okay. So take the time to ask yourself, why do I feel like I need to do all of this? Is there something that maybe I saw my mom do a lot of? I saw my grandmother, the women in my life who helped to raise me, or the lack thereof, right? Maybe they've done so much stuff to the point where I feel like that's who I have to be now. Maybe my husband's mother, my husband's mom is thebomb.com. Y'all hear me? She cooked everything from scratch. Everything mashed. I don't think I ever made homemade mashed potatoes before I started dating my husband. Okay. I was like, wait, so you peel it and boil them and like mash them like from scratch? He was like, yeah, like they didn't eat anything from scratch. She could do an entire Thanksgiving dinner on the fireplace, cake and all. You hear me? Cake and everything. She was super. And so, but then there were places where we all have to say, do I need to be that person too? So what I'll do is I'm not going to make the cake on the fireplace, but I would still love to make you a cake from scratch for special holidays. But do I need to have official dessert every Sunday? Or do I need to embrace certain other things on a religious basis? I got to heal from that superwoman syndrome. I have to let go of maybe, just maybe, this isn't for me to do all of these things. So how do we need to heal? How do we need to heal, sis? We stop being conceited. Trying to be the hand and the eye and the ear and all this stuff is a form of conceited, a form of conceit, where I feel like I'm so incredible that I can do all of this stuff. And God never designed for you to do that. So what I want you all to do is, number one, what we said before about figuring out what you can and cannot delegate, make a list. All right, make a list. Somebody put in the comments, make a list of everything else that's left. Is that sending emails? Is that looking for speaking engagement? Is that social media? Is that cleaning? Is that laundry? What is left over? After you loving on your man, sexing him up real good. I said it. Thank you, Brittany. Hi. Make a list. What's left? Laundry. My husband, as long as he has clean drawers, he does not care about all the other stuff. Okay. He likes the house to look like we appreciate how hard he works. But I don't have to do that. I wasn't the one that messed it up. So whose job should it be to come in? Yeah, there are days where I come and I sleep. I may go the next level in depth of cleaning, wiping the cabinets and doing some other things. But it's like, hey, whose kitchen day is it? Go do your kitchen day before I have to go cook dinner. Okay, everybody else who's left over, hit the living room and the dining room. Okay, somebody run into the bathroom and wipe the sink off. Okay, I was not the one who pulled all the tissue off the spool and threw it on the floor. And even if it was a toddler, y'all should have been paying attention. Learn to delegate, okay? And I hope that I'm making light of it, but I also hope that it's practical. I hope that this is practical for you guys so that you're like, you know what? I didn't make all this mess, so why should I clean it up? And that means I need to unpack. Why do I feel like I have to come and do all of this stuff? Okay. Maybe I am organizing my life so that I am paying attention to my business. I am working on my social media. What's the most savvy way for me to do that? What's the best way for me to organize that? Document your methods that you use. So you guys, if you go to my Instagram, you'll see that the last week to 10 days, the grid looks completely, my social media grid, y'all know what that is, looks completely different. And now I can put out content faster because I organized and I delegated the design because I don't have the eye for that stuff. Okay, delegated the design. So we have to make sure that we are communicating our methods so that I can tell whoever it was that designed it for me, who at this time was my communications manager, Kenda. And she's like, I'm going to help you replicate yourself. And so we have to make sure that we are releasing it and learning to heal. Delegation requires training. Okay, it requires training. Wait, did I get a double? There we go. Make a list of every, oh wait, I'm going backwards. I'm sorry, guys. There we go. All right. Delegation takes training. Teach and train your children to handle chores to completion. To completion. What does it look like to finish something? Ooh. Let that simmer. The reason I'm saying it like that is because a lot of us as parents, we are not good finishers. We are not good at finishing stuff. They say, if you even stick around with me to the end of this class, you're a better finisher than you were yesterday. We are not good finishers. So across the board, we will buy a $20 class. We will join a gym and do a program. We start so much stuff. Like the height of the weight loss movement starts in January. And then they say by the time, no, it starts in December. And by the time you hit the end of January, it's already waning because everybody wants to get excited about starting new, starting fresh, new year, new me, blah, blah, blah. But you got the same attitudes and demeanor that you did from before. Nothing about you has changed. So we have children who are adopting half doing stuff. If I wasn't a pastor's wife, I would use some different terminology. It's in my spirit. Y'all have, you know what? You know how we do. Halfway. We're not doing it all the way. We're giving half. And so can we teach and train our children to become people that complete things? So you will have to walk into the kitchen with them and say a completed kitchen day means I can see side A of the sink and side B. I can see both sides of the sink in its entirety. You have rinsed it out and you have turned the garbage disposal on, that there's no food sitting in the bottom of my sink. And this is a practical stuff. Practical stuff. We start books and don't finish it. We start classes and courses and don't finish it. We start weight loss journeys, don't finish. Thanksgiving come, we have a breakdown. But then we eat the leftovers for another week. I ain't talking about the day of, but y'all know. So we have to teach our children to be finishers by making sure that we're one. We have to bring on support staff to handle affairs in our absence, whether that's a cleaning service, whether that is cleaning service, delegating for co-op or tutoring or all this kind of stuff. What else can we delegate? Food, shopping, grocery pickup, social media manager. I delegated to Brittany this year for pictures. I wasn't relying on my dying iPhone to snap moments in the conference. All of these different things, like bringing people on to support the family initiative. The stuff that's left over on that list, after you've embraced your vision, you loving on your man, you're teaching your children what's left over. And can somebody else do this? Is there somebody else that is better attuned to handle these things for me? So we have to learn to give it away strategically and maybe even hire a virtual assistant. Like I think they have people that work over in, I forget where, but they're like $4 an hour. Hire somebody to send them emails. All right. Number 4, I think it's number 4, delegation requires trust. It requires trust. Trust that the people in your life genuinely want what's best for you and they want to help. They want to help. And a lot of times, our significant others, they'll say, I'll do whatever. And you're like, no, I want it done this kind of way. Or is there a way that I can, No, it's just easier if I do it. Oh, I want to, the kids, sometimes they see you looking crazy. You know, you'll be looking crazy. And, and they want to help. They offer their help. My daughter, there are days when she wants to be a chef. She's cooking. I'm talking about slaying some chicken, y'all. That chicken was, I was like, oh my God, girl, you did this. She did like a basil pesto, like baked chicken. I was like, friend, you killed this. So, but she was like, Mom, can I cook? And I'm like, no, I got it. I don't want you handling raw meat, all this stuff. And when I tell you I had to show her what to do, a hilarious part is the interjection. She says, Mom, I've been watching Nadia Cooks or whatever on Netflix. She said, you know, we don't have to wash off the meat. I was like, I said, baby, that's not our people talking. We wash the meat. I said, now you're gonna disinfect the sink after you're done washing that meat. I said, but we wash our meat. This is not up for negotiation. I don't care what the trained chefs say. We wash our meat, okay? So I had to tell her what to do and then train her, take the time to teach her the right way, and then trust that when I say, okay, baby girl, go ahead and handle dinner, and she actually goes in and hooks it up. She cuts up the carrots over the chicken and bakes the potatoes. And I'm like, girl, go ahead and do that thing. And so we have to trust that the people in our life genuinely want what's best for us and they want to help us. Lude on Facebook, she said, yes, girl, wash that meat. We do not play about washing meat. Even if it didn't work before, this is the healing part, okay? You are different now. Somebody put in the comments, I'm different. I'm different. I am not the same person that I used to be. Put in the comments, I'm different. Brittany, Lude, Heather, Tammy, Tamara, Janisha, I'm different. So even if I've done it before, Sabrina, even if I've done it before and it didn't work the last time, I got to take these principles that I'm learning today. I have to take these principles that I'm learning today, figuring out what I can delegate and what I can't, and then infusing time and training and trust into my family. I'm a different person now. I'll tell you guys, when my husband got to Bethlehem Baptist Church, where he pastors now, he's been there going on 7 years. So 7, my twins are 11. So 11 minus 7, they were about 4. Okay. And I had a 6-year-old. And I think I was pregnant when we got to the church. Okay. I was pregnant when we got to the church. Like the day he got the call, we had just found out we were expecting. So God always knows how to enlarge your territory right on time. And so he went from normal husband that we're together all the time doing all the things to superhero visiting the sick, team of deacons, because our last church was a small rural church. So he made, a decision. 3 people had to agree. And they were like, Pastor, whatever it is you need to do, go ahead. We'll support, right? To working in a ministry where there are trustees and deacons and policies and sick and shut in. And he put it on himself. He said, listen, I'm going to go and visit everybody. I'm going to, he was amazing, is an amazing pastor still. And so I told him something, y'all, and he wasn't feeling it. He was not feeling this statement, but the statement was, I have to learn how to miss you a little less. I have to learn how to miss you a little less. He was like, well, I really don't want you to miss me less. Like, I don't like the sound of that. I said, no, I have to release you to go and do the things that I know you need to do. Okay. So sometimes let this heal something inside of you. Sometimes trust is releasing other people to be who they are supposed to be. Sometimes it is releasing other people to go and do the things they need to do. And you figure out, who else can I hand this baton to? So if you have a spouse, right, like conference weekend, I already know Mr. Garrett works all day Friday and all day Saturday. Now my kids are at the age where they can stay home for a half day or whatever by themselves. But initially he was like, I got to work. I was like, I know. I already got the sitter. You want to have more time, more peace, more opportunities. You want to go do more stuff, all of these things, you can do it. But figure out who you're going to delegate to, and don't automatically expect that it's going to be the same people every time. So I had to find a sitter and say, listen, I'm paying. Our sitters get paid good. Listen, you coming for the day? My kids can practically watch themselves. It's just if something happens, somebody should be here to take care of them. And so I had to tell him, I was like, listen, I want you to be able to go and be Superman. You're my Clark Kent too. But I need you to go and be the pastor that you're supposed to be, the business owner you're supposed to be. He was in school, the student you are supposed to be. You got to go do that too. And your only job is not to be my husband. So some of us, we need to learn to delegate and trust that there will be people, that God will bring you people for that season of I hope this is good to y'all. God will bring you people for that season of your life to help take the pressure off, to illuminate the places that feel like it's not working. I'm just now at the place, and I had a talk with my good friend, and I was like, listen, I think I need you to be my right-hand woman, because now I'm at the place in my life where I'm going to start doing more and traveling more, and I want to have some other things set up to where people can facilitate. You see what I'm saying? Like, things can be facilitated without Christina, because the Mamathon community is not only me. It's made up of every single one of you watching on Facebook, watching on Zoom. It's made up of all of you guys and your passions and your missions too. And that's why it's dope here. I got to learn to delegate too. Christina can't do everything. A couple months ago, we had Stephanie, who's one of our Mamathon ladies, she facilitated a workshop on infertility challenges and the lessons that the women were learning as they go through that journey. Some of them had children, some of them adopted, some are still in the process of looking to get pregnant. And that is something Christina got to see her way out of that conversation, right? That's not my story, but it doesn't mean that story doesn't need to be told. So it's okay to delegate. You are different now, so you will have different results. And your vision is meant to be big. Your vision is meant to be big. It's meant to be huge. Taisha says she can't do everything either, but she feels guilty of trying. We can't be everywhere for everybody. We can't be the eye and the ear and the hand and I can't do it. So I have to pinpoint myself in such a way that I let my vision grow because I'm willing to bring other people on. At this exact moment, Tammy, who's watching, she is helping to transcribe some of my husband's Bible studies because he's turning them into his first book. What do you need to give away? I can trust her with that content and that information that she's not about to come out with a book and say she's a pastor too. I don't know. Trust. Taking trust. So when you have officially delegated, you have better self-care, better rest, greater abundance and prosperity for myself and others. Tammy is not transcribing my husband's Bible studies complimentary. Okay, she is not saying, oh, out of the goodwill of my heart, I have nothing else to do. Just send me stuff to do. I'll take it. She's probably laughing. No, this is not how this thing works. So when I say yes to, this is good. When I say yes to delegating, I get greater abundance from my family because my husband's mission is becoming accomplished. And then because Tammy got paid, that is greater abundance and prosperity for her family too. Can I get an amen? When you bring on sis who operates the cleaning service, you're funneling a business. When you partner with other people, when you bring on that virtual assistant or delegate some other stuff, you are creating abundance. I believe when you invest in other things, abundance. Because I got to give away to get. I have to give away in order to receive. If my hands are so full with all of these other things, I can't receive anything because I'm sorry, y'all, I got to do this and this and this and all these other things. No. I strategically moved, like my whole coaching calendar now is Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Boom, in a certain pocket of hours. You better grab your hours while you can. Because I'm still a homeschooling mom. My husband works the most hours on those days. So I got time to chat with clients or go to in-person meetings. I have some local clients now, right? So we have lunch in person, things of that nature, where I have the space to do it. But y'all not about to see me every single day, blah, blah, blah. He's off work on Monday, but I'm coaching all day Monday. No, ma'am. So what I say yes to creates greater abundance and prosperity for other people too. If I don't delegate, I am literally trying to hold on to everything for myself. And then delegation inspires better communication with the people that you love and you care about. So somebody take a screenshot of this, please. Go ahead, screenshot it. I don't care. Screenshot it. Take a quick picture. Write down these questions, okay? And maybe I'll even send some of these out via email if you're on our email list. Y'all got the chat blowing up. I know y'all clowning. So these are just some questions that need answers, okay? What does God hold me responsible for? Who am I in covenant relationship with? Who am I a steward for? What is the vision that God gave me? What am I being paid to do? Like if your job or whatever, they're paying you a certain amount to do a certain thing, and here you are doing all the other stuff, maybe you should talk to them about getting you an assistant or some kind of help or somebody else to work on the team to take some of that stuff off your plate. What is the greatest investment in my career and business growth? My husband and I made investments this year where we said that we want to grow in these areas. He's shifting into real estate and economic development. He's doing it. We made an intentional decision that we were going to step out on a limb in some areas, right? And we were going to learn some new things. His business has always been cutting hair, but he's like, you know what? I'm trying to shift in over here to do this. So what are some investments that I can make in myself to help fuel my growth? What can I give to somebody else? Home management, chore charge, cleaning service, laundry, food services, stuff like that. What are some aspects of your business? Social media management, creating a content calendar, automated processes, even if that's a calendar app that lets people pay on the app, okay, to not waste your time. Virtual assistant in the US or out of the US, purchasing an email program, you want to sell on Amazon or in the stores. Like, what is it that you need to do if you have a product-based business, okay? Excuse me. So remember that delegating takes time, it takes training, and it takes trust. Are you trustworthy? Are you somebody that completes stuff? Are you someone that is a finisher? And sometimes, because we are maybe people, we welcome other maybe people into our circle and into our energy and stuff like that. So then we wonder why our kids don't finish or they don't do or whatever. And it's because a lot of times they are adapting our character. We wonder why we have clients that do certain things. It's because they're adapting from our character or how we implement things, and we need to tighten those things up with how we organize. So what happens next? I'm excited about this part. And this is the first time that we've done something of this caliber, but I'm excited you guys roll with me, okay? What happens next? I want to invite you all, okay, to come and join the Momathon Reset Intensives. For the first time, and I asked the ladies at the conference, what do you guys want to do, right? And there were 40 women in the room, and they were like, let us do something group, okay? Let us do something as a group. I personally affirm consistently that our tribe is one of the few that there's always good energy in the room. You know, there's always a place of welcoming, cheering for each other. Girl, you thought you couldn't, but sis, we said you can, you know. One of our ladies, Shonda Thompson, she came up at the Black and Bling dinner at the conference this year, and she shared her spoken word in front of everybody. And she was like, I normally wouldn't be this person. She's like, hi, Oslin, good morning, everybody, or afternoon now. She said, I normally would not be this person that stands up in front of everybody and does this, and I'm always a behind the scenes person. She said, but Christina, me, I will drag you kicking and screaming to come to the forefront because I can see that that's where you're really supposed to be, okay? And so for a lot of us, we have been craving reorganizing some things and literally pressing reset on who we used to be. And now I want to resurge. I want to bring it back to life. I want to start over again and begin to infiltrate the old me with the new needs that I have and really come to life in my vibrancy. And so this year, going from December through January, we are going to host the Momathon Reset Intensives, and it's going to be absolutely power-packed. The focus of the intensives is to create a community of dynamic women who want to break their plateau. We don't want to continue the same way that we used to be. And we want to operate at the optimum. I want to see again, what is my potential? Where can I go? What will I be doing? What is that vision that God put inside of me? And how in the world do I handle my real life with this visionary life? One of our girls here that's watching, Oslin, thank you for being here. I really honor the way that she does things. So she will travel, right? She has a nonprofit organization called Backpack International, and she goes to Guyana. And where else have you been, Oslin? She's watching this morning on Facebook. A host of other countries to take vacation Bible school and hygiene supplies and educational supplies and all of these things to other countries to share the love of God with other people. Does she have, her kids don't go every time, right? I believe so. So that means she has to delegate some stuff to someone else. I think she had an injury a couple weeks, several months ago, months ago. And she had to say, I can't do all the loading and the unloading and all of that. I can't do all of this. I can't. So here's where the team comes into mind. Here's where we begin to say, hey, I'm going to give some of this away. Maybe it wasn't because I want to, but right now it's because I have to. And so our mission with the Reset Intensives is to create a community amongst you all. Y'all are already a community. Half the ladies that are on Zoom already know each other, at least. Probably everybody. They already know each other. They want to go to the next level. And that's what this is all about. I want more. Maybe I'm greedy. Maybe the vision is too big. Maybe, oh wait, hold on. We're going to press pause. Oslin said Honduras, Belize, Mexico, Guyana, the US, and Haiti. She said, thank you for affirming Backpack International. And I'm going to tell y'all something. This is not the season of my life where I'm going all the places. But I believe my husband is going to be going with them next year. He's getting all his stuff together. He wants to go on a mission trip. And even if I can't travel right now, what can I do for Oslin? I can donate to her cause, right? I can say, hey, you know what? I can't go, but I can help to fuel the mission work by giving, by supporting. So all of this is about community. It's about togetherness. It's about focus, and that we're working on something on purpose. Because how in the world do I support the work of Backpack International and Oslin and her vision, and Oslin never started anything in the first place? Or Oslin never opened up the opportunity to say, hey, will somebody donate towards this cause? And so she said on Facebook, she said, you are so right. I can't do all the things. My kids don't always go, and I have a team who helps to take care of my kids. What if Oslin was so pumped up on herself that she wasn't going to give anything away? Oh, well, my children can't go, so I can't go. What do we need to shift? And so the focus of the intensives is for women who want to say yes, and for women who want more time, more rest, more peace. And it's important that we have more appreciation of the life that I prayed for. We asked for this. When we were pregnant and going through the woes of pregnancy, maybe you had some challenging births. You were just praying for that child to make it into the world. You were just praying for them to come earthside and be your baby. You were praying for, I had a very challenging pregnancy with Micah. And then when I was pregnant with the twins, I was in the hospital for weeks. I was in the hospital for weeks. So now, even though I complain about them almost every day, I want to be able to have appreciation for the life that I prayed for. I asked for this, but maybe I didn't take into account how having a family dynamic would shift the way that I do things in my life now, right? I didn't think, maybe I planned for like 3 kids. I don't know if I planned for 5, right? So we got to make sure that we are just having an appreciation of this life. And then I also want more space to be abundantly myself. There are days when I got to talk to Mr. Garrett and I'm like, listen, I want to jump in fully. You know, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this, and I'm going to do this, da, da, da. Every time, let me tell y'all a secret. Every time Essence Wellness House goes live and they're talking about women and self-care and how we need it, I am troubled by the fact that they never talk about how and motherhood. It's starting to bother me. It's starting to bother me. It's like y'all haven't found the Mama Thought ladies yet? Like, what's taking y'all so long? And so for me, I want space to be abundantly who I want to be. I just put my name in for a Netflix show last week. Maybe I'll hear from them. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But I knew when I saw it that what they were asking for had my name all over it. So why not take the jump? So when I'm able to delegate other things to other people, it's required of me that I do that so I can be fully and abundantly who I'm meant to be. So if you're in this space today, if you've hung out with us on this live long enough and you want to tap into your fullest potential by being focused and clear and putting your energy in the right places, I do not want to squander my time, my energy, my priorities, my love, right? My full being. I don't want to squander that. I want to make sure that I'm embracing every bit of the journey. You want to tap into your fullest potential and you want to be full, focused and clear. You want to operate in clarity. You don't want to be all over the place trying 10 different ideas and striking a match on each one to see what will work. You want to zero in on those purposeful ideas that are fueling your integrity, fueling the reason you're on this planet. And then you want to go get your gasoline. And then you want to pour gasoline on that idea or those two ideas. Every single year, every year, there are people who want to join in with the mission and they want to tell me what topics that should be taught next year. Every year. And if Christina isn't focused and clear, if I'm not operating in vision, if I'm not being prayerful and asking God what I'm supposed to be doing, I will be jumping from lane to lane. And some of us cannot delegate. We cannot be better. We cannot achieve our goals because we are jumping from lane to lane instead of asking God and wise counsel, what are the one or two things that I need to be focused on right now? And those one or two things could change the dynamic for everything else. But if we jump from place to place, what if Osmond was like, I'm gonna do Backpack Guyana, but I also want to sell blankets on Amazon? Sure, she could do both, but maybe people want to give more to something that's changing the world in Osmond's passionate way versus getting another blanket that they get from down the street. Operating in clarity is everything. And that's what the Reset Intensives are designed to do. Even more, and I know y'all feel this last line, I don't want to take years to hit my goal. I want to press fast forward. What do I need to do to press fast forward? I want to hurry up and get there. I don't want to take years, like 5 years, 8 years. There's some due diligence that has to happen in everybody's life, right? Where we are putting our seed in the ground. I talked to one of my ladies who's on the live today about like rinsing and repeating. Like you want to hurry up and get to everywhere, but no, you need to go back to this work and do what I told you to do throughout these intensives. I need you to go back and do it again and then repeat it again. You did it for a week. Look at these amazing results. Imagine what would happen if you did it every week. Imagine what would happen if you continue to apply it over and over again over the course of 6 months. What would happen then? So I've been super strategic about where I'm going, super strategic about what God is saying to me and operating on purpose. And I don't want it to take 10 years when God says it can take 1 year, but I'm avoiding accountability, avoiding being lazy, I'm procrastinating, I'm doing all this other stuff. I'm missing out on all these other places. Therefore, it takes me 10 years, just like the children in the wilderness, because I picked up some bad habits along the way. And I don't want to take that step forward and give my yes and do the work. So now it's going to take me a decade instead of 1 year. I don't want that. So the intensives are going to be 6 weeks, 7 expert trainers on productivity, self-care, business and career growth. My friend Yolanda, she said, can we talk to the folks that aren't entrepreneurs? I said, we sure can. So we even have a coach coming in who is, she's a global analyst at one of the Fortune 100, Fortune 50 She's up there, global analyst, and is being promoted. And she's coming in to talk about going for the bag with your promotion and how to be exemplary, even at your 9 to 5, because some of us love our jobs, right? Or we're okay with moving up the ranks in our particular position. So we're not just talking to the women who are starting businesses, but it's also for those who want to climb the ladder in your career growth as well. If you've had the desire to maybe talk through some challenges with me one-on-one, every single lady that joins in with the intensive this year gets to hop on a one-on-one call with me where we can talk about those things that are troubling you, those areas that maybe it's hard for you to sort through. You want to work on your ideas. You're trying to map out a strategy. And so every single person gets to hop on the phone. We've already had some ladies that booked their calls already. So first come, first serve. So I'm excited to chat with you guys, though, about what you're working on, what's exciting for you at this time, so that we can help you press fast forward. And then also, this is an amazing community of ladies that is judgment-free. And I said this on the live yesterday because a lot of the ladies that I work with, y'all will not find out who they are unless they say they're a client. And the reason is because I have women who have multi-million dollar businesses, women who are doctors and lawyers and in politics and other places. And not everybody wants their dirty laundry in the street. So I assure my clients when we sit down and when we work together that you have discretion, when you work with me in that aspect. And so what's important with all of this, right, is that you feel like you have a safe space to be you. And it was Brandy who's joining the intensive. She said yesterday, she was like, nobody is judging you. Nobody is looking at you like, how dare you not have your whole life together? Because everybody is a work in progress, even yours truly. So there are certain places in my life where I said, I got to say yes to making this step and this investment because I know it's going to be the key to my next level. I said, okay, I need to go ahead and grab this Black Friday deal with, I can't recall her name at the moment, but she's like a speaker for Harvard and Microsoft and all these folk. And I was like, let me go ahead and grab that because that's what 2022 is doing. That's what 2022 is giving, right? So for you guys to be able to have a community where you can be authentically you can work on yourself and grow intentionally, and is judgment-free. And so the intensives kick off on December 7th, 2021. Our initial week is going to be meet and greet and connecting. And y'all, the investment is only $347. I know y'all were like, Christina did this whole this whole presentation for this look. What my passion is making it that every single woman on this live, if you want to say yes, you can say yes. If you feel like it's going to be a place to help you foster growth, to help you move to the next level, to help keep you accountable, that by the time you're done with the program at the end of January, you're like, wow, I have all the tools I need to go and take better care of myself, be more rested, be more productive. I'm pouring gasoline on the stuff that's going to change my life the quickest. My husband, 2 days ago, we made an investment to do make real estate real, right? With Jamal King, the guy with E.T. Thomas and everybody. We went on ahead and said that yes, right? We went ahead and did that. And the reason was, he said, yeah, babe, we're working on our investing and our stocks and stuff like that. We're doing really good. So, however, that's a long haul. Like when you invest, you're in this thing for years. He said, but I don't have time to do X, Y, and Z. He said, because there are people in his family that have a need right now. He said, so we're going to go ahead and learn how to purchase these properties and do X, Y, and Z. I said, okay, because when we're in agreement, anything that we do together will win. Okay. And so the investment for the Momathon Reset Intensives is $347. If you decide that you need a payment arrangement, right, then the investment is $397 split into 2 payments. As we wrap up, here are some practical reminders. I need to know my value and what I bring to the table without negotiations. I need to know my value. You need to know the places in your life that you're the most valuable, that you can't be replicated. The person on the other end of that email, they won't know that you weren't the one that sent it, that your virtual assistant did it instead. In fact, it might look better on you if you say, hi, this is the office of Oslin Rodriguez. We're just trying to find out if we're still on for said appointment. That looks good. That's sexy. Okay. So knowing your value means that I'm allotting my energy to do the things that matter the most without negotiation. I will not downplay. Somebody say in the comments, I won't downplay my gifts, my talents, my passions, my needs, or my dreams. I will not downplay. I will consistently evaluate how I spend my hours to ensure I am working on what will get me to my goals in the fastest way possible. All right. Let's connect, okay? I'm looking forward to serving you guys in a dynamic way. I'm looking forward to embracing what's coming next for all of you. I'm excited to be along for the ride and be a pillar of focus, inspiration, motivation, and strategy for you throughout your womanhood journey. You can feel free to shoot me an email, okay, or hop over to runningamamathon.com and just learn more about the mission here. But I'm excited to connect with you all, especially if you feel like the intensive is the right thing for you. All righty. Ooh, let me go. I'm going to check the comments. Okay. I'm going to check the comments. Facebook family, if y'all have questions, you can feel free to drop them in the chat. Okay. And I'm going down the line. All right. I'm going down the line. Okay. I'm gonna open the chat up real quick. Everybody said we're besties now. Like, these are my people. I love you guys. Y'all are so incredible. I'm just going up a little bit to check the chat out. Somebody said we are changing our rules, like we're allowed. Janisha said we're reinventing balance, the work balance, life balance. Rest should be included in work, life, and other ways. I love it. I love it. All right, we're going down. Heather says, I got to learn how to rest. Tammy says, amen to rest. I love it. I love it. I'm going down. Over on Facebook, Taisha and Brittany says, I will consistently invest in myself in ways that will serve me and my family. I love it. Y'all killing it. Okay, I'm just going down through the chat a little bit. Refreshing. Delegating requires intentional planning. So for those of you who are hopping on late, y'all get to pick up the pieces. Oh my gosh. Somebody said you'll be waiting a long time for people to come and save you and they still won't show up. That's so funny. Okay, so Stacy McCall says, you are speaking directly to my anxiety. We got to unpack this stuff. You know, we really have to ask ourselves, what is it in me that makes me feel like I can't have or can't do? Okay. And so we need to make sure that we're taking it out. Like, you know what? I'm just stressed out about X, Y, and Z. But if I take the time, if I communicate well, if I train my family to support me, and then I trust them that they're going to do it right, do it in the neighborhood of right. Might not be perfect, but it's in the neighborhood. It's good enough. Then we have to be able to release that, okay? All right, I'm going through the chat to see if there are any questions. Going through the chat. I am a team builder and this is what I am destined for. Oh my goodness. Heather said, I'm coming for edges. Jean said her edges are already slim. Hey, friend. Heather said, I'm gonna need a wig soon because y'all know I'm not playing about us not doing all the things. Oh my gosh. Tammy says, acknowledge your role in the knockdown or the breakdown. What part did I play in all of this to where I told my loved ones or the people that are around me that this was okay? Oh my goodness. All right, let me see if I see any questions. I don't just want to read through all the chat for you guys because y'all were just so good. Heather said, I don't know why I keep messing with Christina. She's just too, I just be coming for edges, y'all. I love you. Janisha says she's addictive. Thank you. Oh my gosh. If we walk away with nothing else today, if we walk away from with nothing else today, it's that we have to be able to put things in a certain place. So Tammy says, what do you do when you delegate and you end up getting burned? That's a good one. Okay. So my question would really be, number one, who burned you? Who burned you? Okay. So maybe there was what element, like sometimes something in us has to be healed, right? Because then we want to accept whoever's coming to support or do or contribute. For example, the mama who ain't got nobody watch their kids, please just take the kids. It could be the whole hobo from down the street. Somebody take these children, and we just want to give it away, right? So she said it was a business opportunity when she delegated and it ended up getting burned. My thought pattern, especially at this place in our journey, we're at similar places, Tammy, is that I can't give to everybody and I can't trust everybody. Okay. So sometimes there will be people, even at this place, where I'm like, okay, I need to organize stuff differently because your word isn't good enough anymore. There are people in my life right now that I love. Well, not love, but like I'm not against collaborating with them for something. But then you look up and that person got the best of you, and you sitting there looking like boo boo the fool, right? So when it comes to business collaborations, I even was talking with another mutual good friend of ours, and I was like, okay, how do we set things up so that if we work together or collaborate, that you still feel like you can be who you want to be, and that we also have contracts and stuff in place, even for friends. So then we're looking like, oh snap, this person burned me, or this situation burned me, but did I overgive? Did I over deliver before they delivered? Have you shown yourself worthy of the trust? And so when we are training people to work with us or contribute or support, sometimes it will take the time aspect before the trust. And because somebody is willing to, what looks like is an answer to prayer, I move real slow now, y'all. I move real slow because I have found some people, all they want me to do is share the flyer because they know my tribe shows up. They don't want the mission or me as an individual. They just want me to share with my crew. Oh, okay. Okay, I got you. No, thank you. I've also learned that I can't overshare because my ladies support. So I got to make sure that I trust you with my ladies. You see what I'm saying? Like if y'all come on here and I'm like, hey, listen, Heather, for example, has the best hair, afro, gel stuff ever in life, and all y'all go buy it, and then all y'all hair falls out, y'all gonna be looking at me. Like, why did Christina tell us to buy that lady's hair gel? So you got to be careful about who we connect with and who we do things with on purpose, because a lot of times we're looking for somebody that's just going to step in and support. Oh, I just want somebody to come and speak. I just want somebody to do everything has to be intentional now. And especially we're working together in business, are there contracts in place? You can get them off the internet, like tweak them to finish your business, to fit your business. But now as a leader, and every single one of y'all watching are leaders, Tamara and Heather and John and Krista and Tammy and Marche and Lude and Taisha, all of y'all are leaders. You have a responsibility. I have a responsibility now as a community leader. There was a year last year, I don't think she's gonna be watching, one of the speakers at the conference showed out. I said, oh, I must not have prayed long enough before I invited. We will not delegate to you anymore. You give the event coordinator, Teresa, the angel, who has rocked with me for years, trouble. You are never coming back. I don't care how free that ticket is. So before we begin to delegate to people, have we given it time? And sometimes we are, we're so hungry for the next thing, the next level, support, whatever that is. And we're excited. It's to everybody who's starting something amazing. And we want to go to the next level. So we trust people too soon. with our babies. You know, when you first had that baby, don't even look at this. You know, you can't hold him. No, you can't breathe on him. No, you can't do nothing. And even as I listened to TD Jakes this morning, he was like, some of us are over. No, it was somebody else. A video on Facebook. If I can find it, I'll share it with the group. But she was like, some of y'all oversharing. Some of y'all are overdoing, doing too much because you want to be validated. Somebody else on Facebook said something about being validated for the work that you're doing. And you want to share, like, oh, I got this amazing idea. And sometimes you better keep that amazing idea to yourself, or tell that one person or two people that you're excited about, that you know you can trust, to tell that information to and get perspective. But a lot of times we're delegating too soon without those essential components. Number one, do I even need you to do this for me? Or is this something that I have to do? Number two, it takes time, giving people space, giving you space to show them what you need. And then if they're a person that's outside of your family, giving them time to show their character. Giving them time to show their character. Are you somebody that I can even trust with my baby? With this assignment, with this money? I'm sorry, we don't have time. This is not on the calendar anymore. I'm sorry, there's no space on the calendar for that. You know what? Thank you so much for thinking of me. However, at this time, I'm not able to do X, Y, and Z. Creating boundaries. Taisha said, that's what I did. I trusted too many people with my ideas. I've heard, it's just me. I've heard different places where it's like a mastermind. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna come together and share ideas. I don't even know y'all like that. I don't even know y'all like that. Hi, Marche. Thanks for joining. I don't even know y'all like that, to be sharing with you my baby. Marche said, nope. We're not even doing all of this, okay? And so this is just for mindset going forward. It's like when I'm delegating, I got to figure out what only I can do. And then it takes time for the people in your house to take time to communicate that well to them. But if they're outside of your house, you need to be figuring out, is this somebody that I even want my name tied to? Ooh, my edges. Is this somebody I want my name tied to? April has the Honeybee Society, and she sends out subscription boxes and all this kind of awesomeness. Is this somebody I want my name? So I think it wasn't last year, this year, it was last year that we brought her on. I'm hoping to be able to do it next year, April, because they were so dynamic, to do our swag boxes for the ladies who attended virtually. Really, it was everybody, but especially the virtual attendees. So she did the t-shirts and oils and candle stuff and everything, put it all in a sexy box, and it was sent out to everybody in different areas of the country last year. So we want to be able to do that again next year. April, just ready yourself, because we're gonna wreak havoc. But I could trust her with that assignment. So delegating takes time. And it takes training, right? You have to have a vision in your mind so that you can give the vision to somebody, not the full vision, but the assignments for this particular vision. And there are very few people that you can say, I trust you with my vision. So delegating takes time, it takes training, and it takes trust. So we are designed to give stuff away. The question is, what are you giving away? Is it time to give that away, or do we need to wait for a different season? Is it my assignment for this particular time, or what is it that I need to do differently or shift? But it is at its core, the core of it is trusting that God is lining up people to help you accomplish that major vision. Okay. And so as we wrap up today, it is my hope and my prayer that something was said today to help you elevate your mindset, your thought patterns, to help you walk your journey with more strength. And beyond that, come and join the Mamathon Reset Intensives. It's all of this that happened today on steroids. So we will be working for really beyond 6 weeks because we have the holidays and all this other kind of stuff, right? So we'll be talking about productivity, self-care, personal and professional development, growing your business, media opportunities, elevator pitches. It is going to be so multifaceted. But the vision, I think, going forward is to make this our signature. But when we come to 2022, the investment will not be the same. The opportunities will not be the same. And so I want to extend this to you guys today. All right. So if something has been said, which April said this changed my whole look at delegation. Listen. And y'all know if I don't love doing anything else, I love to teach. I absolutely love to teach. I love speaking. I love sharing. My heart for women, to really see us elevating the things that we know God has more for us, but it is so hard to see the more when you are drowning under like laundry and diapers and exhaustion. Like sometimes some of us are just too burned out to think about what's working for us in this phase in our lives. And so everybody, I think that's watching, you know how to get to the DMs, okay? We have a handful of spots left, and that's one reason I wanted to present it in this way. We might even do a different class on a different topic again next week, because I am not playing, okay? We have a handful of spots left. I want to invite you, and you to come and be a part. If you need a payment arrangement, I don't care. If you need to, if you want to pay it up front, the investment is $347. And if you want to take care of it in 2 payments, the investment is $397. Okay. But I wanted to make it at a price point where anybody can say yes. Even if you got to move some things around a little bit, I genuinely believe in my heart of hearts at this place in my life that I have to put seed in the ground to get stuff back. I sent a blessing to somebody. I'm not saying who it was or what it was for. I sent a blessing to somebody because it was laid on my heart. And God was like, that is not your tithe. God, this morning was like, I'm glad you're feeling generous, but that is not your tithe. And I said, you know what, Lord, I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to be an example of someone who invests and somebody who gives. I want to be a giver. And so being able to sow into you guys in this fashion, April, where's the lie? God was like, that is not your tithe, sis. That is not your, it was 10%, but it was not his 10%, right? He was like, So learning to invest in those places where I know we're bringing back fruit. And I know for a fact that this community, the teaching there, the experts that are coming in, we got my girlfriend who runs a PR agency coming in, Kenda, who's all things digital communication, social media, and amplifying that mission like that. She helps women to do they have multi-million-dollar businesses and brands. And so it's like, how do I elevate that? Amplify productivity and self-care. What else? We're doing health and wellness, meal planning. It's going to be an intensive. Anybody that has done like the 4-hour intensive with me, they're like, I am so glad this is recorded because it's raining on me right now. Like, all right, you want speaking engagements? Here's where you go. Boom, 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 boom. And you do this and you got to do that. And we're all over the place, but it's in a beautiful fashion that helps you guys to hit your goals in a passionate and exciting way, okay? So I look forward to talking to you guys in Messenger after this live is over today. If there are no more questions, I'm going to end our webinar for the day. But I am just excited for what's coming in the future. I want to welcome you all ahead of time to the Reset Intensives. We kick off the week of December 7th with our first teachings and everything probably happening the week after. But I'm looking forward to hosting you all, encouraging you, walking with you, equipping you, and then bringing some amazing ladies to come and pour into you guys after that as well. Okay. So hop in my DMs. All right. Let me know if you're in. Send your email, and if you want one payment, or if you want to do the payment arrangement, either one is fine. But if you feel like this is for you, and if you feel like I might be your person, and I might be bringing some other awesome people to you, then I want you to take advantage of this opportunity. Okay. All right, everybody, that is it. I love y'all dearly, and we will see you all next time.